Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Darksiders 2. Just continuing down the path to the ford, we finally figured out what the glowing blue rocks are all about, which that's nice. We've now found a new area. Let's see. We'll take a moment to swim in the water. Wow, that certainly felt like I wasn't going to make it, then all of a sudden the game decided I was going to make it. So now that we have this lure stone, we can find any of these blue dots and collect things, and we might as well get the chests. We should have killed that character. That would have been enough experience to get me to level 5. This will be an interesting decision whether this gives me experience when I pick up chests, and I guess the answer is no, it doesn't. Is there anything? The lure stone does not work with those, however, so it feels like there's either going to be ways to get higher up with abilities I don't have, or there's paths I just don't see. The animation of death is hurt a little bit by the fact that he's always holding these two scythes. He just doesn't feel like he's ready for climbing. Alright. Let's quickly kill this guy. Level up. Well, did that open all the path? Trying to figure out the right way to approach this treasure chest. There's just a lot of random stuff in some pretty big and empty areas. We can go over here first of all. First things first, we now can equip level 5 things. So Dark Avenger and Pauldron of the Horseman. And let's see, are these boots any better? Yes, they are. Let's see. Am I supposed to use the horse to jump this, or just try and jump it? Boy, did I get bright blue. I got really, really bright blue under the water. It seems like the whole world got really bright blue all of a sudden. And this feels like this could be something. Who's this going to be? Volgrim? This looks like Volgrim to me. Let's see.
See what Volgrim has to offer. I have new items, if you have the goods.
So these guild boxes, they still don't make a lot of sense. Like, I guess at some point at the end of the game we'll save up to see if we have 50,000 and we just buy a legacy box. Well, I certainly don't have this. We know that is the transport yourself all over the place ability. So what's over here? We're kind of going in the wrong directions.
Something's missing.
Find a way to activate the Lost Warden. So we've now got
Something's missing.
this guy here. I need the horn to wake that guy up. I feel like I'm gonna get a double jump. Doesn't it feel like I'm gonna get a double jump? And we can see from all the way over here that there's a collectible. Yeah, we may have enough to get 5, maybe 6 legendary boxes to get 5 or 6 legendary pieces of armor that probably won't do anything important. Like, even the game thinks this is the closest path, and I just can't get up there. Not from that direction. Oh, but I can get up here from this direction. That's awkward. That's a very awkward way. Some people would call that a puzzle. I would call that just random layout of elements. Very, very awkward just to get a chest. Just get a little bit more money. Still not 100% sure how I would get on top of this. I think the game has screwed up the graphics again, because it went from feeling very black and white and gray that I was now it just feels like it's super blue. Super blue. I'm wondering if there's a outside, and so we can go ahead and take this guy on and see where we are as far as how much damage this guy can really do. This Dark Avenger is a punch weapon, which requires you to be a lot closer than I probably would prefer to be. And these guys are scaling up at a compatible level with my character leveling up, which is causing me to not one-hit kill these guys, which is a shame because I kind of would have preferred that. So we now know that there's going to be an increase on how far we can climb up on a wall at the very least. Well, onward we go. This is yet another we've got to get some kind of double jump. It doesn't seem like we'd be able to collect half of these things without it. And this is This is just a dead part of a golem, I guess. This game is almost there. It's almost giving me like this alive open world designed to distract me and give me other quests and make me forget about the main quest, similar to the way Skyrim does so well. If you're not careful in Skyrim, you will totally 100% never finish the main game. But it's not done enough. So I run into an area, I find something new, and I think to myself, oh, well, that's something different, but that's not something interesting. Now, in the first game, you could just press A and then B, and that you would kill them, but that's not working here. Sometimes you can hit B, but only in rare instances. See, that was just a programmed fight. One assumes you die if you fall down. And we're finally getting what it took arguably maybe 30 minutes to get to this dungeon, and I was supposed to fast travel to even get to that, get to this point that fast. So that makes me assume that there was some levels, some of the big open world levels were developed early on in development. Otherwise, you would have a game that was all action, that had you just cutscene your way from one dungeon to the other dungeon. And that did happen in the first game, at least sort of in one or two sections. These stingers are just going to come out of these drains, I guess. We've got these trees. Nothing when we shoot these. And there's nothing to break to get more health or anything. See, it seems close to about 8 hits with those execution moves that will give you a bunch of wrath, which that's slightly helpful. Because I guess now I can save it up for a big boss fight. We need to find the ball somewhere. And I guess the ball doesn't come from over here. Instead, it's just an empty place to mirror. Actually, the ball does come from there. Interesting. So there must be a throwable explosive thing over on this side. They're having us apply the knowledge we learned in the first temple as if you would have been allowed to reach this point. Well, maybe you would have been able to. Maybe you could have reached this point. Non-volatile shadow bombs must be shot, so that guarantees that you would have needed the gun, and you wouldn't have gotten the gun without doing the first temple. It would have been better if it had just rolled into the location. there was no need to make me roll this. But I do understand why the door is locked this way. Yeah, you couldn't have gotten here without the gun, so this almost feels like there's probably a glitch or two to speedrun a game like this. Actually, I think I may have seen somebody speedrun this game. And still took a decent amount of time, I think. So we've got a golem tied up, or part of the mechanism. Or maybe that's not really a golem, it's just a statue to look like a golem. Start with the simplistic thing. Interesting music playing. Can I do this? No, I can't. I can only jump backwards. I can't get up. That's a shame. Can I climb up here? No, have I just fallen to my doom? Well, not to my doom, but it does seem like I've fallen. How far is this gonna take me? Seems like a little too far. And I guess this is a shortcut for the double jump. So that was probably an exit. These pathways are too long. And I could certainly see when trying to make a remaster or just a improved version of a game like this, it'd be difficult to remove those elements. We're hiding a load section behind this long hallway sections. Meanwhile, there's reason to kill all these guys and get their loot. I don't know how we're supposed to like collect that. I guess I was supposed to collect it that way. This is very awkwardly laid out levels. Seems like just random combinations of element. Area 1 has a hill over here, a hill over there. You can't actually jump up these hills. Although, I guess if I am eventually unlocking the ability to double jump, that could be explained away. Let's see. If I go down this way, We now have another Book of the Dead page. I kind of need like a better vision mode. That way I could look through all of this, all these areas and confirm or deny whether there's a collectible anywhere close. Just make sure there's nothing over here. As one assumes that the water's gonna fill into that. This music's too good, which can often be a problem in games. Like, if you're recognizing the music, if it's standing out and is more apparent and more interesting than the gameplay, when I hear it cycle, which it's now feels like it's cycled 2 times already, like, how am I gonna feel about it when it cycles 4 or 5 times in a row? Remember, I have auto loot enabled, which is making the experience quite different. Different from what I think they want you to experience. Although I don't know if it is a better experience to have to pick up the loot and equip it, or look at it and hover over it in the middle of gameplay. It's just a distraction method, really, to try and distract the player from the lack of gameplay elements. Let's see. While we're here, if we can figure out how any of this stuff works. $16 and 16. I guess this is the way to go. It seems like it might not really matter in this place. Again, this is the 3rd time we've been in a dungeon, and the dungeon is just like half destroyed. The end of the world idea is interesting, and the problem is this isn't Earth, so it's not that end of the world. They've moved so far away from that first trailer for Darksiders and being on Earth and having broken buildings, and moved it into a unheard of fantasy world. So we've got to go, I think, all the way one direction, get the water to flow, and then follow the path all the way back to the, like, follow these tracks all the way back to the center of the area. So this is the 3rd time the music cycled through that I've recognized it. And with no conversation and no talk, it's hard. It's really, really hard to have a distinction. I need to find a dungeon map, so I'm hoping I'm going the right way. But how would I know? Let's See, press B to instantly kill small animals. And it works once. And it's not one of my abilities. Meanwhile, a demon just apparently came out of the ground right in front of where we wanted. And here's the helmet he was looking for. So in the middle of the fight, it's moving our score higher. While focusing personal direction to evade. Are you taking any damage? Or do I have to get you to crash into walls? I think I have to get you to crash into walls. Let's go ahead and drink a health potion and see how much damage we're really doing to these guys. He did crash into a wall. That's something, but it also seems like I do have to just beat on it. Now here's the problem. This has that 2 button, both the left trigger and the right bump, the left bump element. And so I just used my will attack on him, which I could have been using this whole time and would have killed him a lot faster. And he was the ideal candidate for something like that. It also refilled all my wrath, not well, when I did that. But I have to, with the left trigger lock on, then hold the right left bump with my second finger. And that's just something I don't do. I don't have the coordination for it. It's not how I hold my controllers. That's more of a PlayStation controller. I'm playing with an Xbox One controller. You can do it certainly with both of the controllers easily if you're skilled at playing that way. I'm just not. I keep everything in my pointer finger, which has some dexterity, where my middle finger is really just for holding the controller up. And don't even ask me to push a button with my ring finger or pinkies, because those have no control at all. I think that's probably at least partially the reason why we haven't seen any major... Hey, we got another skill point and leveled up at some point. So, wrath generation is increased for short platforming. Or Dust True Incarnate appears. Unleash a spinning scythe attack that devastates the surrounding foes. Alright. I'll purchase that now that we're at level 5. I could have also purchased this shield, which might be useful. And our next skill point increases our Reaper gauge by 1. And what have we got new? Claws, which is distinctively different. Wraps. And Journeyman Helm. And there is, it seems, a treasure chest over this way. Wow. Can you get up or not? And some new boots. New boots I'm not even going to bother to look for or look at. I just kind of opened a chest there. I didn't actually get the map, which is what I would have liked. And see, this probably means I went the wrong direction, and when I do get the dungeon map, I'll be halfway through the dungeon. What we didn't see in the previous dungeon was a compass, which would have pointed us to a boss. And did we really even see a boss? Maybe we had something sort of like a boss in the dungeon. I can't even remember. Wait a minute, let me think about this. Was there a major boss fight? No, it doesn't really feel like there was in the last dungeon, which would wrap into the idea of this being a game designed to be played over and over again. Don't have long action adventure bosses because of that. Let's see, we can, I guess, only slightly see where we've been. This looks like this is going to be a slightly larger quest dungeon. Let's see. Speak to Karn. Didn't we already do that? Find Drench for it. Didn't we already do that? Restore the tears to the mountain. And the Maker Warrior is defeat Thane, and I guess that means it's a secondary quest. Let's see. Harvest some Mordant Dew, Richard and Decane, and ask him about the Caravan Stone. So maybe the gold star things are things that are part of the current quest line that you can still do. Book of the Dead, we've got 2 of 10 pages for the first one. Sticks and Stones, there's still a whole bunch of stones that we'd need to collect. I don't know how you would calculate that. 3 of 34. Is that 3%? Almost? Sorta? Kinda? Game says we've been playing for 3 hours. I am just so totally lost. I really don't know. I don't know if we're 3 hours and we are 1/3 of the way done with the game. I don't know if we're 3 hours in and we're maybe 1/4 of the way done, or maybe closer to half of the way done. Like, we know that there are abilities we're going to get eventually, but we may not use those abilities that much. We know that there's some side dungeons, but we don't know how big those side dungeons might be. I don't know if there's any game whatsoever after the Tree of Life. That's also a factor. I think there might be. If it's like the first game, there should be at least a little bit of a twist. But here we are. It's been another 30 minutes, and it's mostly just walking around empty hallways. And I know it's incredibly cruel ever since I started doing 30-minute episodes, which I think I'm going to have to give it some real thought at some point, just to go back to 45-minute or hour-long episodes, because I would much prefer to play this game for an hour and feel like I've actually accomplished something in an episode than to have 2 30-minute episodes where I accomplished maybe one thing between 2 episodes. I'm always looking for feedback, so let me know in the comments what you think. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. If you want to support me, gift me a game on Steam. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.